Hi guys, in this video we'll be looking at the intro to Little Wing by Jimi Hendrix, and it sounds like this. So hello guys, my name is Thomas, and in this Little Wing guitar lesson we'll be looking at the full intro that Jimi Hendrix plays, all the chords and all those kind of fills that he does, mixing that lead and that rhythm part. But before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you enjoy this lesson and you want to see some more, please click the link below to take you to our website where you can see this and hundreds of other lessons for free. Okay guys, so let's get started. We're in the key of, well, he plays it in E flat minor because he tunes his guitar down a semitone. I'm going to play it in E because I don't want you guys to have to all tune down to learn along with this. So it's going to be an open E just for ease of use. So I'm going to say we're in the key of E minor for this. So the first thing we're doing is a mute followed by that on the 12th fret. So that is first finger on the 12th of the E, B and G string. So the way I'm doing that is slapping the string with my pick whilst my wrist is actually across all those strings. So you just get that nice percussive hit and then up. Once you hit it, you slide it down before playing the open E string. And then two more mutes. Same technique, putting my hand across the string to stop any sound. So the intro, slowly, is. And one more time, if you find that a bit tricky. Okay, so then we're moving on to this pentatonic riff thing. Jimi Hendrix is the daddy of all this pentatonic stuff that you see players like John Mayer doing, for instance. Jimi Hendrix invented it. This is why this song in particular is so iconic, because it was such like a mind-blowing change for the way people play guitar back then. That's why I love it. And hopefully you learn a lot about being able to kind of make rhythm and lead playing into sort of the same thing like he does. So after we've done we're coming to the 5th fret of the low E string, first finger, 3rd finger then to the 7th fret, and hitting the 5th fret of the D string. So that's a hammer on there, before there, so 5, 7, 5. Okay, so there's a lot of fast movements in this. I'm going to try my best to break them down. So we've gone, and then immediately after, you're going to use your first finger where you had it before on that D string. You're going to get like a little bar so you can play the D string and the A string. You're going to pick both the D and the A string. So I'll put this close so you can see. See where my first finger's flat across there? That's what you need to do. So don't, when you come in on that 3rd note from this part, don't come in really nice and pristine with the fingertip. Come in a bit ugly with a flat finger, making sure you're only playing that string, and it makes the follow-up mini bar nice and easy. So E string, D string, then first finger on the 5th fret of the A and D, play both of them, and hammer on with your 3rd finger to the 7th fret, and then play the 5th fret of the D and the G string, again using that bar. So slowly, and following that hammer on again, so you're going like this. So I would encourage you, because this is so tricky, I would encourage you to try and break this whole section up into just manageable little chunks that you put together. So this first bit, be one chunk. That could be the next bit, getting from here to there. And then this next bit would be another chunk. So I'll play it so far slowly. Okay, so after this we're going to our first chord really, which is a G major. And this shape is coming off of an E bar chord. So an E major shape barred across the 3rd fret. And then what we're doing is we're getting rid of that D string, sorry, that A string, the note there. And Jimi Hendrix did this thing with his thumb. And it's kind of needed to play this part. There's probably ways around it if you can manage it. But he played it, the root note, with his thumb there over the E string. And it allowed his high finger, or his pinky finger, freedom to kind of do little twiddly parts on those top strings. So that's how we're doing it. So it's thumb on the 3rd fret of the E string, 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the D string, 2nd finger on the 4th fret of the G string, 1st finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, and 3rd fret of the E string. So you've got So the way to get into this is, after this lick before, is just practice getting your thumb round like that, and then your chord. So once you've got this shape, it's thumb, then D string. So those 2 strings, that's E and D string, and then you're striking the rest of the chords, that's the G, B and E string, and you're doing this little hammer on and pull off with your pinky on the high E string on the 5th fret. So it's strum, hammer on, pull off, and then pluck the high E string. Just like that. Once you've done that, it's another strum, and now with your pinky you're going to hammer on to the 5th fret of the G string whilst you're holding the rest of this chord. So it's strum, hammer on, strum, pull off. And then from this bit, so I'll play this bar again. There's a lot going on here. So we've done that bit. Strum, pinky on the G string, strum again, pull off, strum again, hammer on, pull off. So it's a repetition of hammering on, strumming it, and pulling it off. One more time. And ending with the D string. Okay? So that's strum, hammer on. I've confused myself. Strum, hammer on. Strum again, pull off. So strum, hammer on, strum again, pull off. Strum, pull off. Alright? So far. next chord, which outlines an A minor. So after we've done this, jump to the 5th fret of the low E string, and we've got another kind of similar shape as before. So 5th fret of the low E string, and then that's 1st finger on the 5th fret of the A, hammer on 3rd finger to the 7th fret, then 1st finger to the 5th fret of the G. So it's, and then back to the 5th on the A. After that, it is 1st finger, barring where it was, so the 5th fret of the G and the B string, and hammering on with your 3rd finger. There's a lot of this motion, so get used to that. That's a very common thing in this particular piece, so you'll do well to practice that and get that fluid. So that is pick, hammer on, pick, and then moving your bar just up to include the D string, doing the same kind of motion. So 1st, then hammer on the 3rd onto the 7th, and then you kind of continue that same thing down. So it's this, that motion down the 5th to the 7th frets. Okay, so we got there with a hammer on for the 5th fret of the D string to the 7th with your little bar. So there's a lot of little harmonies going on. Moving your bar once more up to the next string. So now you're doing the A and the D string, and it's the same pluck, hammer on, pluck, before moving on to the same thing on the 5th and 7th of the E string, with a bar doing the E and the A string. Okay, so one more time. B and G. That's pluck, hammer on, pluck. And now D and G. Kind of fast one with a little stop. So you're going to pluck at, after the hammer on, you're going to just let the pressure off. Okay, then moving to the A and the D, same thing, pluck, hammer on, pluck. So you get like a double note. And then to the E and the A string. And a slide down. So one more time. Oh, my apologies. Okay, then you're sliding down to the open E string before coming up to do like an E minor 7 shape in an A. So an A minor 7 shape, sorry, up on the 7th fret. So that's a 1st finger barred in the 7th from the A string to the high E. You've got your 2nd finger on the 8th fret of the B string, and you're doing a little pull off, hammer on pull off, another little twiddle with your pinky on the B string 10th fret. So open E string, get your chord in place, then twiddle on the B string. So it's B, oh, B, hammer on the pinky, pull off, and then that barred note on the G string, coming to the A string, so then it's a double E. 1, 2, and then 10th fret of the A string with your pinky. Now under the D and the G string, again not moving shape, just keeping the shape in the same place. That was just the notes on the bar, 7th fret, and then so you pluck it again and hammer on really quickly, and then back down the same way you came. So, oh. Keeping your shape strong. So let's play up to this point. There's a lot going on. Okay, about halfway there, a little bit more to go. Moving from the 7th of the A string to the 7th of the A, 7th of the E, that's the root of the next chord, a B minor. So I'm kind of unsure physically as to how he does this, but the way I'm going to do it for ease is first finger on the 7th fret, and then second finger on the 9th of the D string. And you've got a little bar on that 7th fret as well. So E string, second finger on the D string, 9th fret, and then you can have that going on top of it. But actually he's adding this 9th. And again, I'm going to do it in kind of strange fingering than maybe I would play a normal minor 9 chord, just because of the fills that he does here. I think it requires, just for my sake of how he does it. So the way I'm doing this is E, then the D string, and then you get your third finger and put it on the 9th of the high E string. So you've got this. And use your pinky to go in between there to the 10th fret. So that's 9 on the high E, 10, 9, and then pinky to the 10 of the B string before going to 7 on the high E string. Okay, that's how I'm physically doing that. So we've gone from 7 on the E, 9 on the D, and then a strum from the G to the high E string. You've got your pinky on the 9th fret of the high E, then high E string melody, 9, 10, 9, then B string 10, strum to 7 on the high E string. Okay? A lot of kind of bar chords, so this might take a bit of strength in your hand if you're not used to this. And this is a hard intro and a hard little piece to learn. The first time I saw it, I was mystified. I thought, oh, I can definitely do that. And then I saw the tabs and I thought twice. But there's so much information in here. It's really great. You can move these shapes around. Just look at where the bass shape is. Is it an E bar chord shape, which the G and the A minor have been? Or is it an A bar shape, which the E minor has been, which was the... So I'll go through all that at the end. So after what we've done, going to move down 1 fret to like an E major bar chord. So we get this little chromatic walk down. Down 1 to an E major bar chord. And that's an E, A string, sorry, E string, A string, and then the D and the G. And that kind of rhythm. Sorry. Down to an A minor. So you've gone B minor, B flat major, A minor. That B flat major is just a quick little passing chord. Like that. To an A minor now, so that's 5th fret. That is 5th fret on the E string. Now with your 3rd finger on, again, a little bar across the E string. With your 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the D string, you're going to play the D and the G string there. So it's 7 on the D, 5 on the G, but you're going to have a bar there. And we've got this walk down melody. So it's E string, pluck, and then release the pressure so you get a little short stop. Keeping your hand in the same place again. You're going to move your pinky to the 9th fret of the D. You're going to play the D and the G, always. 9th fret, 3rd finger in the 7th. Taken off so it's barring the 5th. This is still with the G string. You can hear it there. Then pinky to the 8th fret of the A string, playing the A, D and G. And then 3rd finger to the 7th of the A string. So and then with this same shape, you're going to do, that's the D string, 5th fret, and the D string and the G. Using your 3rd finger then to go 7th on the E, sorry, 7th on the D, and off again. So one more time. And then that is 5th fret of the E, hammer onto the 7th, slide down. Okay? So let's go from this E, which had the wee twiddle. And again, now we've gone, after that slide, we're ending on the 3rd fret of the E string. Our thumb is doing that thing again, it's over. And then we've got this kind of shell chord, so we've got almost the same shape as we had before for this G, but this time it's 3rd on the D string. Sorry, 3rd finger on the 5th fret. 5th fret, sounds South African, on the 5th fret of the G string. That was 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the G string. Then 1st finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, and 4th finger on the 5th fret of the high E string. So E string, G string, B string, E string. And you're going to do, once you've got this shape, so you've got your thumb there first, that gives you a bit of time to get the shape in place. Once you've got it, just thumb and then D string. Pluck those individually, and then you're going to strike from the D string to the high E string, and then slide that whole thing up 2 frets. Then strike and slide it back down. Then strike again, slide it down 2 frets. So and he's using slides and plucking to kind of create like a double note sense. So slide down first and then pluck. But your thumb isn't sliding. Once you start the slide, you can release the note. But once you get down here, your thumb's going to go there on the 1st fret of the E string. And you can give it a little. And then it's quite hard because the effect he has on his guitar makes it a little bit difficult to hear. But I think it is, there's like a little fill in just the space there. And I think what it is, once you've reached here, you bring your second finger, so there's a bit of a stretch, second finger to the third fret of the A string, and then you go E string, A string, E string, D string. Now I think that's what it is, but even if it's not really that important. It's just a little thing no one will really know if you don't play it right, but it's not integral to the piece anyway. If you're unsure about that, if you disagree, you can just do a little strum in there to fill the space as well. Whatever you choose. Okay, so let's go from once we've got there, open A string, hammer it on to the third fret of the A string. And this is kind of going to be a C major shape, a little bit changed. Instead of second finger on the D string, it's going to be second finger on the G string. Okay? And it's going to be a double pluck before a pinky coming to the third fret of the B string, hammering on and pulling off. Alright? So almost a C major, but instead of D string with that finger, it's the G string, hammer on, double strike, and then hammer on, pull off. Not even a hammer on, sorry. Just fourth finger on the third fret, and then pull off. Okay? And then to the last chord, I think he played it here, but I'm going to play it here anyway. I'm trying to make this as movable as possible, so I'm not going to use open. If I think it can be done outside of open shapes, I'll show you those, because those are far more transferable across the neck rather than like an open D. Anyway, so we've done, we come to a D power chord, so that's first finger on the 5th fret of the A string, third finger on the 7th fret of the D string, and it's a little kind of strum there. And we get that little walk down. Alright? So after a strum, and that's for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to move first finger now to the 7th fret, barring across the D and the G string and the B string. And it's another little hammer on with a third finger onto the D string. From the 7th to the 9th. Hammer on, off twice. Pinky to the 10th fret of the A. I'm doing that A, D and G string. And then pinky off, so there's a bar across all the 7th fret. So one more time. Bar on the 7th, hammer on with the 3rd to the 9th fret on the D string, off to the 7th twice, pinky to the 8th fret of the, to the 10th fret of the A string, off to the 7th, and then pluck, hammer on the A string to the 9th. So what that he's doing there is he's kind of framing the chord of D major, but he's kind of going around it the long way. He's taking the scenic route to get to that chord. He's doing notes that are outside of the chord, but just either side of the note that he's going to end up on. So a little tension here. And all this pentatonic widdly stuff What it is adding just kind of tension and release to a lovely chord like D major. So there's your chord, you go like that, and then back off and you go, oh, and I'm back again. And that's what this stuff does. And then this bit, that's the note he's going to arrive at. So he's gone either side of it. He's enclosed the note before ending on it. Okay, so that's Little Wing, the intro. That's not easy as I say. Let's go for it one more time slowly, see if you can keep up. I'll try and say the chords out loud that he's working around as we go. Okay? So it starts on an E. Then comes to a G. Goes to an A minor. Goes back to an E minor. Goes to a B minor. B flat major, A minor, G, F, C, to a D. Okay, so trying to get some more stuff out of this, rather than just treat it as something to learn, a piece. Think about what you can take from it in terms of those fills he's doing. Where do those come from? As you can see, they're mostly pentatonic. So in an E minor shape, which should be here, he's got all those notes to play with, as long as he knows that they're in the key. So if it's an A minor, it's going to be those notes. And you can just kind of add those in as much as you want. And it just creates that movement within the chord. And then up here on the E string, in this G major shape that he had, basically any of those notes along the 5th fret of the E, B, and G strings are going to work really nice. And again, those are all pentatonic notes. Apart from that last one, that's a 4th, so that's in the major scale. All he's doing is taking notes that are within the scale, but not necessarily the chord, and adding them in. So learn positionally where those notes are. All these, there's your major shape. Learn the position of all those notes and then change the key. And the same thing with that B minor. Using that 9th. That's an interesting one because it's actually not in the key, but it works quite nicely anyway because it's not too weird. So try and move that around. Maybe using slightly more comfortable fingering for whatever you're used to. And then this one. Okay? So really try and dissect that and really digest why he's done the things he's done here. This is such a great lesson in guitar playing and breaking outside of boxes and mentalities about rhythm and solo or lead playing as well. Okay guys, that's been it from me. Good luck with the practice and I'll see you next time.